Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Woo! It's been a minute. I haven't made a YouTube video since quarantine started, and that's basically because when I did want to make it, I wanted to be like very much in my routine so that I could make it and have it be like an actual representation of what my quarantine is looking like. So today I want to do how I stay mindful during a full day of quarantine. So, because I know mindful eating is probably the hardest part of all of this for everybody. And I've used it as an opportunity to really like hone in on my mindful eating habits. I did kind of commit myself to having, and that's what I want to focus on today, is having one mindful meal a day. So that means like I'm not watching TV, I'm not on my phone, I'm not doing anything distracting. I'm like just sitting down and eating. This is something that I want to be a habit for me at every meal. So when we start a new habit, we want to start really, really small and then kind of let it compound on each other. So could I have committed to eating 3 mindful meals a day? Absolutely. But then it makes it that much easier for us to fail. And then failing leads to, this not trying and whatever. So I committed to 1 mindful meal a day. Typically that's breakfast. Like I will sit down and eat breakfast without the TV on or my phone on or anything like that. And it snowballed. So now I do it for lunch too. And I've been doing it some days, not every day, for dinner. And the reason I wanted to make this video today is because the last couple days I did it for dinner, and then yesterday I didn't. I watched TV while I had dinner. And I noticed immediately that I was going back into the kitchen for snacks, that I was like, okay, well, I wasn't even that hungry before dinner. I was like, let me just eat. But then, I still found myself going back for snacks, even though before dinner I wasn't that hungry. So I was like, you know what, this is perfect. Like, let me just show everybody how mindful eating is actually, it works. Like we hear all about it all the time, but it actually does work. You actually do eat less, because eating in itself is not like this very fun task, but we associate eating with watching TV or with relaxing or all these things. So then it becomes a task that helps us relax. But in reality, if you sit down and you're just eating and you're just focused on chewing your food and what does it taste like and whatever, it actually becomes like a task and you're not enjoying it as much. Chewing is a boring task. So if you're actually and I am trying to chew my food to its fullest, if you're actually trying to chew your food, you get a little bit tired of chewing your food. So it really does go to show, then you start eating till you're full instead of eating until the show is over or something like that, because that's what I did yesterday when I was eating dinner. I had dinner and then I was like, okay, well, the show's not over. Let me just snack on something till it is. But actually at the end of the day, you don't need the snacks. You're not even hungry, And if you're hungry, by all means, snack all you want. But these are things I already had. I wasn't hungry. I didn't need the snacks. So that is what we are focusing on today. I really like sitting right here. So we might have all of our meals right here. The light's just really good. But let's go make some oatmeal. Well, the oatmeal's made. I made my oatmeal last night, but I'm going to top it with all the toppings right now. Whatever. I'm not going to, you'll just come with me. I don't know exactly what the day is going to look like, okay? Okay. Don't put me on the spot like that. Let's put this in the oatmeal. Lovely. That's lovely, isn't it? If you guys follow me on Instagram, and I think most of you do, you know that I have oatmeal pretty consistently every single morning for breakfast. The recipe is up there, but I did make this one and prep it last night. So it is about half a cup of cauliflower rice, about a 1/4 cup of rolled oats, a scoop of Ancient Nutrition bone broth protein. Give me 1 second while I show you what that is. Best protein in the entire universe, I promise. It makes this perfectly into oatmeal and baked goods, and you just can't go wrong with it. So use code Lena at ancientnutrition.com. Just kidding. I think it's draxe.store.com, but I'll put the link below, and then use code livingwithlena and you get 15% off. I'm going to put all of that in the link below. Just don't quote me on anything. It's so good. It mixes, you could bake with it. You can put it in shakes. You can put it in coffee. It's just a perfect mix in. I love it. So no proteiny, powdery flavor or anything like that. So it's that, cinnamon, and I think that is it. And now I'm gonna top it with almond butter and berries and chocolate chips. This is my bowl. Quarantine is just such an easy time for us to snack, and we kind of the world's been giving everybody like it's okay, like eat whatever you want, like don't worry, you know, like we're all going through something. And like, yeah, we all are going through something, and it is okay to snack sometimes. But like at the end of the day, if we just sat down and ate our meals more mindfully, we probably would subconsciously snack less. Like it's that simple. It's not even something that you need to think about too much. Like it just happens. So, and you feel better. Like at the end of the day, yeah, this is a hard time for everybody, but like snacking doesn't make it easier, you know? It doesn't, regardless of what people tell you. It's not true. I've had my fair share of days where like I do snack. I'm definitely not saying you're never gonna have a day where you snack more than you might want to. I'm just saying like to make it a habit isn't the best idea, and it's not the best, like you won't feel the best at the end of the day. And it won't support your health as best as it can. So instead, sitting down and eating mindfully can like just help that. Anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm just looking at my makeup. Sometimes I do that. So I'm gonna pop this. It's just the berries and the oatmeal in the microwave. We're gonna pop in a little bit of almond butter. There's a very specific spoon. There's no good reason why I prefer that spoon over other spoons. It's the reality of the matter. So we're gonna take a nice little spoon of almond butter and put him inside. Now you're gonna come back with me over this way so I can show you the finished product. Let me show you this beautiful bowl. I don't know why I keep whispering. I just have issues. I actually don't have issues. I need to stop saying that. I'm fine. Thank God. Right? Okay, ignore me. I almost knocked over my oatmeal. I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast. TV's not on. I can go ahead and turn around and show you that. And the camera will be pointing at me, but I won't be using my phone. I'm really excited for this bowl. It is stunning. That's it. Breakfast time. So I do want to mention one thing really quick. So like this morning I already had like a few cups of water and a cup of coffee. And when I had my cup of coffee, I was watching a show. So because we still have this habit of kind of holding something in our hands while we're watching TV, you can totally fill that void and that habit by holding a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something like that. I do that all the time. And it just helps you kind of not quit something cold turkey. And it helps you be able to sustain that habit longer. Mindful eating can definitely still occur when you are like eating with family or talking to people or like in a social setting. It just is easier to adopt when you are like when you start by yourself. And then after kind of you get used to it, eating with family or with people in social settings becomes easier as well. I've always been someone who like says I have a big appetite, but really I think I'm just like distractedly eating. There's nothing about like my everyday has changed. I've just been more mindful, and I feel like I get full faster. So that's done. So imagine I was like eating that and watching a 30-minute show. It took me about 10 minutes to eat that bowl. If I was watching a 30-minute show, I'd have 20 minutes left of the show. And I very well might try to find other food to fit the other 20 minutes of my show. So it just goes to show. But like I'm genuinely satisfied. Like I'm not at all hungry. I'm a little bit full actually. But yeah, like if I had been watching a TV show, I would have continued to eat. These habits that we build now in quarantine can totally last when we leave. So it's not so much about like our biggest fear being weakened in quarantine or anything like that, like the stories that we hear on social media, but it's more so being like this realistic, lifelong habit that we build while we're here. Because then we have these triggers of like, okay, every time I'm home and watching TV, I'm eating, or every time for the rest of your life. And that can just kind of get to you over time. So right now it's about 9 o'clock, so I think I'm going to go for a quick walk and then come back home and get some work done. So I try to go for little walks throughout the day just to simulate movement that would have happened like in regular life. So like, let's say I was driving somewhere to see a client or something, like I would be walking to my car, I'd be walking from my car to the location, and then like from that location back to my car. So I try to stimulate that movement kind of however I can throughout the day. And it's not really like a really serious walk. Like right now I'm in my sweater and jeans, but just again, stimulating movement. That was literally like 10 minutes maybe. I'm just gonna get some work done, and then I'll meet you back here for lunch or tea or whatever happens in the middle from now to lunch. For the last few hours, I have been half working and half taking a break and watching TV. But now it's 12:30 and it's time for lunch, so I'm gonna go make something. Just gonna keep whispering to the camera because I'm awkward. It's 12:30. I don't wait till I'm like starving to eat. I just, you know, feel a little hungry, eat. I think that's normal. So I saw a couple like different pictures on Instagram. Somebody made like this really good egg sandwich. Somebody else made a waffle. So I want both. So I'm gonna have both. I'm gonna show you how I have both. This sourdough bread from Trader Joe's. It's been in my freezer for a very long time. So I'm gonna take that out and pop that in the oven. And then I took out a gluten-free waffle, also from Trader Joe's. Not in the oven, in the toaster. So this will be the basis of my egg sandwich, and this will be the waffle that I want and I'm gonna have. Okay, toasted bread, a toasted waffle, and now I shall put things on top of it. I'm gonna melt this. I don't know how to on the stove, maybe, but I hope that works. I don't really make cheese sandwiches a lot because I used to not like cheese, but now I like cheese. I don't know how to use cheese, so bear with me, I'm learning. While that's melting, I'm just gonna take some of this and kind of cook a little bit down too. I like to cook my vegetables, at least like my harder vegetables, so like my cabbages and Brussels sprouts, things like that. Like I don't eat those raw because of like I have digestive issues. So anyways, I like to cook it. It just helps me digest better. It helps actually a lot of people digest better. So if you have like a lot of gas, bloating, things like that, try cooking your vegetables. Lunch is done. You ready to see it? You have no choice but to say yes. I was eating breakfast with no TV and it was fine, but I would eat lunch with the TV show every single day. I mean, up until like very recently. I haven't been eating lunch and watching TV, and it just makes such a big difference because when you're not watching TV, sorry, just fixing my camera, like you're just focusing on what you're actually eating. You don't need food for like every scene or something like that. Like you're just living. Not that I don't watch TV or I don't give myself a break or whatever, like I do, but I just try to eat before or after. But more than anything, it's about breaking the habit of needing food when you're watching TV. So it's about changing the trigger. So like TV doesn't equal food, food doesn't equal TV. If you choose to have something with you, we just want to make sure it's not like a habit, but more so a choice. That was good. But like I'm definitely satisfied, don't need anything else. If I was watching an hour-long show, I finish this in about 15 minutes, I would definitely go back for chips or something, whatever. But because you're separating your tasks and eating is just eating, you kind of get bored of it. Like chewing the like lettuce, like it actually like your jaw gets tired when you're paying attention to the act of actually chewing. It's really interesting what happens when you start to really only do one thing at a time. Eating doesn't have this like glamorous, like very exciting, like people will say like, I love to eat. Like, okay, so do I still say that, but like, it doesn't have that like fun behind it when all you're doing is eating. Like I remember one time finishing a plate like that size and literally being like, wait, but I'm genuinely still hungry. And at the end of the day, like you're not, okay, if you are genuinely still hungry, like go eat something. if you ate mindfully and like you were paying attention to the meal and you're still hungry, like obviously maybe your meal wasn't enough and you're still hungry, like eat something else, that's fine. But maybe you're thirsty, like drink water. Maybe you weren't eating mindfully and you were just distracted and you're still doing that task that's making you distracted. You've built a habit of eating while you do that distracting task. So now that you're still doing that task, you have this trigger and cue going on in your brain telling you, I'm still doing this, so I still need food to get me through it. So, and you're using it as like a coping mechanism to, or just, it's just a habit. So definitely these are like deeply ingrained habits in our brain that we are trying to change. That is my lunch spiel. I'm gonna clean the kitchen, do some work, maybe go back outside. I think now is like an optimal time that snacking happens. So it's like that second half of the day after lunch and before dinner. When we're working and at work and stuff, like this is definitely a time that like is the harder half of the day, so snacking happens a lot. And then I even know when I'm home, this is when I like to snack too for some reason. So I might make some tea. Tea always helps me. At the end of the day, like I'm just really not hungry and I don't want to feed the habit of working and eating. So instead I'm gonna, like I might hold a cup of tea to make that a little bit easier. But that's it. First I'm gonna wash the dishes. I did end up making tea. This is a chamomile tea, and I'm just gonna sip on it while I work. Okay, the day is almost over for me. My day ends earlier than the average human beings. It's 5:30, so I typically eat dinner around this time, if not earlier sometimes. So I already made it. It is cooked and ready to go. So I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. Okay, so for dinner, I feel like I might want seconds, even if I eat mindfully, which is fine, because I don't feel like I put as much as I normally eat, but I'm going to show you guys what that is. But I'm looking again, I feel like it might be enough. It probably is. I'm probably just being dramatic. This is sweet potato fries that I made. This looks gross, but it's cauliflower polenta. I got like a copycat True Foods recipe. It's actually really good. And then these are chicken nuggets that I made out of almond meal and coconut from Freshwater Peaches. I'll link her recipe. But that's it. That's dinner. My entire day has gone by and I had breakfast, I had lunch, and now I'm having dinner. And I am, like I said, I have a big appetite and I didn't really feel like a need for snacks anywhere in between. Sometimes I do, but I also didn't work out today, which can lend to a smaller appetite. But I just didn't today. And I really think that like eating mindfully and really just like having it be, or with no distractions, makes a huge difference. Like eating in itself, the task of like eating a meal is not so exciting. But eating a meal with a TV show, eating a meal while you're on the phone, eating a meal while you're doing something else, like you're just not fully there, and it's so easy to kind of keep going. So I hope I convinced you guys today. So that was my last meal of the day. And I did not think that would satisfy me because, like I said, big appetite, but it actually did. I feel full. This just goes to show that when we're in quarantine, especially, there's value to like eating without distraction so that you can really feel the separation in your meals and not keep going back for seconds, thirds, building these habits where we're just like eating in front of the TV or whatever, and then like we don't even feel like we've eaten. A lot of people have this habit of like eating while they're working. It's so easy to work from home and have lunch while you're still working and not take a lunch break. But by taking your lunch break, by like stopping and whatever, you're not building a habit of every time you're on the computer, you have a snack next to you. That's what we want to steer away from. So instead, separating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and eating it with no distractions, it's going to be super helpful. Again, coming from someone with a huge appetite who could eat forever, after like practicing the like eating this way, like I always thought like a 10,000 calorie challenge, like I'd be able to do that with like easy. Like I'm sure I've done it before, but now that I do this, I'm like, man, it actually can be hard to get through a plate sometimes. Like I have to take a deep breath and whatever.
So yeah, I don't know. Again, coming from someone with a big appetite, works out a lot, whatever, but I think this works. I think it might be the key. But that is all I have for you guys today. I think I'm going to cut the YouTube video here. I'll probably have tea tonight, but other than that, I mean, maybe a cookie. But other than that, I think I'm done eating for the day. So I'm going to cut the video here. Thanks for joining me. If you guys have any questions, always ask them in the comments below or follow me on Instagram at Living with Lena if you don't already. And yeah, I guess that's it. Like, I think at this part, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell. I think that's it. So to my whole 43 viewers, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.